Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages.
That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port here on the first day of the Players Championship, the 50th edition of the Players Championship. So much else going on in the world of sports as well. Tony, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, dude. Pretty stoked to be here. Thursday, I was just saying, can't believe it. Week's basically over, dude. But like you said, the players, the golfing, hyped for that, as well as a great Rangers game tonight. So let's go, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Spring training moving along. So, the first tee times were at 7:40. Troy Merritt actually hit the first tee shot this morning. He's played one hole, got a birdie. So he's your leader here very early on at 1 under par. Looking for notables coming up this morning. You got Joel Damon, 802, Minwoo Lee, 802. You also have Jason Day, 813, Matt Kuchar, 813, Burns and Schauffele and Fleetwood all going off at 824, Sepp Straka, 835, Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, 835, Steve Stricker, we talked about him yesterday, 846, Ludwig Aubert, 846, Cantley, Adam Scott, 846, Justin Rose, my sleeper, 857, Webb Simpson, 908, Keegan Bradley, 919. So those are the tee times in the early going.
Let's go,
obviously,
dude.
with 144 players in the field, tee times very widely so spread out. Good thing for daylight savings time. More time on the course to get these rounds in. Scotty Scheffler, 140, along with Ricky Fowler and Justin Thomas. You have Colin Morikawa, 151 with Brian Harmon. Will Zalatoris, 202 with Shane Lowry. Gary Woodland, 202 with Cameron Young. And then last tee time of the day, your guy, Jimmy Stanger, Tony.
Really?
Going off at 246.
Let's go, baby. That's my dog.
So golf all day. I'll have the PGA
dog
Tour
here.
Live coverage the entire way, and we'll keep you updated with any developments that we get here. But like I said, very early on, and just looking forward to this 4 days stretch of golf. You really can't beat it, especially for a non-major. I really think everything else pales in comparison. Just when you think about the iconic hole of the 17th, the crowd, the history, and the fact, too, that it's such a tough tournament that no one ever, and that actually Stacks mentioned to me this yesterday, and I'll talk about golf in a second with him, but no one's actually won this tournament 2 years in a row ever. So that
is crazy,
volumes.
actually. I didn't know that, but Scotty will do it this year.
Is
this your favorite non-major?
Yes.
By far.
Yeah, I would say, the waste management's up there, but just because especially too like that this year, that wasn't a elevated event. So, the field is just so strong. So, of course, anytime you have a really strong field, it's going to feel big, and this is big. And it's nice too, I was telling you, how they're bringing back the announcers from the Tiger Woods Better Than Most commercial. I know somebody like Josh B knows all about that. So he's proud to have them back in the booth as well. And speaking of Josh B, he has a couple things to say.
Let's go! Would be the first thing he wants to say. Early birds get the worms, he says. Rangers Knicks tonight. Pumped. Let's have a day, fam. Hashtag TCA, hashtag Sportsport, hashtag DTV. The Matthew also early says, yes, boys. And then he goes with the early start, dude. You may find this funny, Brian, but yesterday Matt asked us how our day was. But, he said day, like kind of like funny, like how he says words. He says, how's the D? Like that. And Mike and I just stared at him like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
How is Tony, though, always involved in something like this?
Oh, sorry. Hold on. All right, now go.
He's always searching for it.
Yeah.
Just stop it. First of all, that's
but
ridiculous.
it
Because
is
also, even Michael was like, "What are you talking about? Don't say Tony's
But
searching
I feel
for
like
it."
you get more of a kick out of it than anything. I don't know what it is. Like it just like it makes your day every time. Just one little thing. That's that makes your whole
that's.
entire
I mean, that's
day.
what it is, Judge. I focus on the little things. It's just the little things that make me happy.
Michael?
Okay.
Yeah, no, he really does love that.
And I actually have a question. I know where you are. I know where I am.
He'll
but
get
I'm
you in trouble.
curious.
Where are you?
We haven't heard anything on Josh B on this. I don't believe anyway. Just because he mentions the Knicks. Obviously everybody's riled that OG's back. Went through a tough time, all the injuries, this and that. And I'm definitely in agreement with you with all this stuff. But I'm just curious where he is because I just think it's like one of those things. And of course, for you being a fan yourself, you get tired of, it's a good story. We're gonna maybe make it to the second round. You know what I mean? You're obviously looking for the championship, but I do get on the other side of things. There was such dysfunction for a while. Isaiah Thomas and all that stuff. Derek Fisher. So I'm just kind of curious, where he is, because I do get, and even listening to Dave and Rick, it seems like they think they have an outside chance to make a run delusion
Tony.
to the conference finals, and even to the NBA finals. And I just feel like I don't see, even with everything going right, I don't see past the second round. I really don't. And like I said, it's nice. The defense is great. But
NBA finals.
But stars take over in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I just feel like Jalen is great, but you don't have anybody else close to that. So I don't know. It just seems like there's higher expectation than the realistic expectations. Who knows? But I'm just kind of curious, Josh, if you get a second, if you could give us your thoughts there. And then did you get to the rest of the comments? Or
No, you cut me off there.
Oh, yeah, continue.
Okay.
Because you were talking about your intrusive thoughts. Minwoo Lee stepping up to the T on number 10 here.
With Matthew. He says, Josh B. Boy, what is good, brother? Josh B says, Matty G. Josh B says, he's chilling, daily grind as usual. And then chairman of the company says, hater,
but
exclamation point.
But same question for you, Lonnie. I am curious. And I forget because it just, we never talk about basketball. I forgot. Does Lonnie like the Knicks? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Lonnie, what are your expectations? How far are you expecting them to go as well? Because I like I said, I'm just curious, and I just think there's a difference between being a respectable team, in the regular season, having some good wins, but then making it to a conference final. And just we've seen teams, and I know it's different this year because Embiid's injured, but like the Sixers struggled to get to that point, and I've felt all along they've had a far talented team than what the Knicks have right now.
So who do you think is coming out of the East?
I know it doesn't make any sense.
Michael Bukta?
Given the curse and all that stuff, but I think of Doc, I think the Bucks just because Giannis is that good.
Wow.
Yeah, and Dame.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Celtics choke, you think?
Yep.
Wow.
Don't you think so too, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jalen is not worth $50 million. I don't know why that's
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then a couple other comments.
Yeah,
here.
Lonnie says, healthy, he says, give me the Knicks.
But I just don't see how and let's just say hypothetically, the crazy part, they get to the finals. How could they even come close with the Nuggets? Even the Clippers, who I rag on all the time. I don't think they could beat the Clippers. Suns, yeah,
Minnesota,
exactly. Even the Lakers. I don't even think they could beat the Lakers.
No, not even.
And then Josh B expect Eastern Conference Finals.
What's wrong
if
with
all
you?
goes right and we are healthy?
All delusional Knicks fans, bro.
Wow,
It's
yeah.
sad. It's sad.
Delusion.
It's what happens when you've been beaten down.
Yeah.
It's almost like Mets syndrome.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say Jets syndrome. Really.
No. It's the
it's more like
same
Jets,
exact
dude.
thing as the Mets.
And then
God, I hate
how
you
much
so
is Tony
much.
searching for it of this Lonnie comment? Boston is soft. Bucks can't play D. 100%. He's searching. He's thinking.
No, see, you know what? That's where the line gets crossed. All right, that's the line. That's not even funny. He's making Bucks can't play D. Come on,
Lonnie's
dude.
cracking up right now.
No,
Anyway,
Lonnie could be sure,
knowing
dude.
Lonnie, he's cracking up.
Yeah.
Definitely. Joel Damon, approach shot here on number 10. Starting on the back. We'll have about 25 feet for birdie. So it'll be kind of interesting. I still have not started full swing. Just haven't had the opportunity.
Dude.
But I did finish The Sopranos yesterday, and we just jumped right to Boardwalk. But I have to say,
oh my goodness,
Sopranos, the ending. I know,
disappointing.
It's like my favorite show of all time. But I don't care what anybody says. Not a good way to end a classic show like that. It's just not the way, Michael. It's not.
I didn't see the ending. That's tough. I heard bad things though.
Yeah, because you didn't see the ending either, Tony, right?
No.
Yeah. So
I mean, I know the ending though.
yeah. But when
I've heard.
you actually see it, though,
Yeah.
I'd be kind of curious to what you say. And then we see Kev saying, "Let's
All right.
go. We want the smoke." It's Tony's job, so I'll let him read Josh's comment.
oh, really, dude? Okay. Josh B says, "Hold up. You make it sound like I'm talking like Barnes and the Yankees." Michael,
Yeah, but
LOL.
Michael will tell you, Josh B and Tony, that the Yankees have a better chance to win the World Series than the Knicks.
The
have
Mets
a chance
do
of
have a better
winning-
chance than the Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks of winning a title. It's two
Stop
different
it.
things.
It's really sad. I feel bad for Knicks fans.
Yeah.
Because it's like this team, like they think it's a championship
Yeah.
team when it's not.
No, the Heat could beat them easily in a
Anyone.
series. Yeah,
Orlando could stomp them.
yeah. Yeah.
What's his name? Bonchero?
Bonchero.
He's
Yeah.
a monster.
He
No
is.
one's
Pancheros?
talking about him
He
right
is.
now. He's having a LeBron
Love Pancheros.
second year type of year.
Also, Lonnie says Doc Rivers is the coach over there in Milwaukee, so they're not going anywhere, basically. And Kev Du saying, Yankee boy, no Cole for you.
I've been
1
a
to
good
2
boy
months.
this year. I'm not getting Cole in my stocking. I mean that, right?
No.
Yeah, exactly, Kev.
Dude, all time
Listen.
searching or like,
Listen,
come on,
and
dude.
we're gonna talk about it in a second, but honestly, given the dire circumstances, so far, I think it was the best news that we could hope for. But like I said, we'll talk about that in a second. And then Lonnie also says Pacers are a problem because they can score in the heat of the heat. Yeah,
I mean, he can do well. Like, what do you mean?
yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's I'm agreeing. Yeah, like the Heat, like what? So because we think we can make it far, we automatically think they're a championship team. Well, I don't like I said, I'm thinking one playoff series. Like
They're gonna go 6
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah,
7
like,
in the
like
first round.
define far. Yeah, like
yeah.
I don't
isn't
know.
far going to the championship? Because
and-
you're saying what? You said second round out?
yeah, second round. out.
Okay, yeah. Mike, what do you think?
First.
First round out?
I said it all year.
Was it cemented when RJ was shipped out that just sealed it for you?
Right.
You're gonna see. It's gonna a lot of leaks in the ship will come out during the playoffs.
Mm.
Joel Damon here, 15-footer. Does he make it, Tony?
Yes,
Star
absolutely.
First of all,
Switch.
just want to shout out TikTok, Simi and Dr. Freeze. Thanks for the follow. And Donnie has American Bulldog says gonna hop over to the YouTube and sends a heart for Tony.
Wow.
Damon
That's really nice of
missing
him,
the
dude.
15-footer, but we'll tap in for
Really?
a par.
What
So,
happened?
It just veered out right, but that happens. And just finishing up this Knicks conversation right now, they would play Orlando in the first round if the season were to end today. And that is interesting. I will say this though, I could see them, definitely beating Orlando. I think it might be tougher than they imagine, but I think they will do that. But then they would play if everything's chalk. They would play Boston in the second round, and I just don't see why. And I know I'm saying I don't think Boston's going to win the championship, but I think they will beat the Knicks. But then,
Yeah, Lonnie says, we were saying that they can make a run. But again, like what
Like,
is
Yeah.
that? Like make a run.
see, like
to-
that's the thing. It's
make a
like,
run of
Tony,
what?
do you understand where I'm coming from? It's like you're like they're excited for a first or second round.
exit.
Like, what do we?
Yeah.
I want a
Yeah.
championship team.
yeah,
You need a Durant, you need a Edwards, you need a Embiid on that
Mhm.
team.
yeah. When it gets late in the playoffs, you can't just have Jalen. He's going to get worn out.
Mhm.
Oh,
All the minutes that he's
100%.
playing already.
He look at him, he already almost blew out his knee.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
So-
Thibs is gonna get canned. It's gonna be great.
So we'll have to see what happens in that regard. Don't think there's any I just want to check this before I do a quick synopsis yesterday. But by the way, actually, Tony is on top of it, but it looks like
Oh.
just go to the top there. I think it's still Merritt. Okay.
Yeah.
Merritt birdie
2 under.
number 2, which is his the 11th hole, starting on the back. So he's at 2 under, Blair at 1 under, Noren at 1 under, and Bramlett at 1 under. So all of them starting with some birdies here early on a Thursday.
Who's
at
your
the
guy to watch
Players
today?
Championship.
Who is it day one?
Victor,
Hovland
65. Done.
by Michael.
Is there an ace today on 17?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then the guys
go
calling
Riles.
it, they say better than most,
Yes.
100%.
Are they tight or like what's the deal there?
What
right?
do you mean are they tight?
Because like even they seem in the broadcast just when we were listening, they seem like they're almost like sarcastically saying that.
No, they're not tight.
No, you don't think
they're
so?
routes.
Okay,
Yeah, it's,
good,
it's
good,
nostalgia. Victor Hovland on the range too, so getting his warm-ups in. But
Let's
anyway,
go, dude.
speaking of warm, yesterday, what a day out in the course.
Oh, yeah.
Especially front nine. Whole time, I wore shorts and just had my Callaway, black long sleeve over
That's awesome.
one of these shirts. And towards the end of the round, definitely was a little colder.
Yeah.
But I was telling you before, for the most part, driving off the tee was good. Definitely a slice, but not a crazy slice. Solid distance. So I was happy with that. And I would say from like 70 to 130, like I was pretty solid.
Hell yeah.
Shorter chips, struggled a little bit. Putts were brutal at first. And I was mentioning to you, thought I was going to have my first career hole in one, landed about 3 feet in front of the hole, because it's uphill angle, and then rolled back to 5 or 6, 3 putted, getting too aggressive. I know, Josh B knows what I'm talking about. It's happened to him before, I'm sure, all of his years of golf. So that was tough. So the front, had a couple, blow up holes, shot 50 on the front. Rallied for a 46 on the back, 96. So last year at Gainer, my low was an 80. So we got a lot of work to do, but it's just early in the season, you just get the reps in. And I know the good scores will follow. And as the day went on, it's getting more comfortable with the putts. And I think the key is, and I'm interested because I haven't played Fairchild in a while. You were obviously just there. Did you notice? Because I noticed this at Gainer. A lot of times, I'm reading the putt. And you're more likely to make the putt if you are conservative on the amount of break versus factoring in more break. Because a lot of times I think you way over factor break. That's what I noticed I was doing yesterday. And as the round, went on, I was doing a better job of that. Did you notice that at all? I mean, is it flat around the cup in Fairchild, or is there a lot of slope cups?
I feel like there is a lot of slope cups. And I feel like when I was golfing, I was under factoring the break of the green. I think my ball was breaking a lot more than I thought it would be.
Now, were you hitting it softer though? Because a lot of time more break, softer putt.
Yeah. I definitely I always try to err on the side of too soft and too hard.
Searching. Come on, Tony.
It's all you, dude. But I feel like it was a mix, dude. Plus the greens were so tough because some of them were dry, some of them were soaking wet, so they were so slow.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of annoying. But yeah, definitely. That's something I certainly have to work. It's kind of like you were saying. There'll be times where have a great drive, solid hit from the fairway. You're on the green in 2, and then you're just putting around the hole, and it's just like Jesus.
Did you steam that many past the hole?
Maybe steaming it over the 3 days, probably maybe once around, I steamed it.
Okay, yeah. It's so frustrating.
Oh my God, dude! And of course, it's always there's a few holes too that the back of the green is just straight down, and then you're just what? This is brutal.
But I was happy too. Did finish with a par on 18. I think you should remember the 18th hole. You have the pond in front. Short par 4.
Oh yeah.
Clubhouse in the background. So hit a kind of a stinger off the tee.
Love that.
Was about 110 out. Front pin location. Wind swirling, Tony. So hit the front of the green, but it slopes up. So then it rolled down into the fringe on the hill. Putted. That's my favorite thing to do too. And I don't know if you do that at all. Short grass, fringe, always a putt, even if it's far off, because the putt is always better than the chip. So
I know.
I did that, got within 4 or 5 feet, and then made the par putt to end the round on a high note.
But I want to because I do that too. I want to get better at the chipping. I have to, dude.
But I think unless you're a professional golfer, I'm convinced that you're not going to chip it closer.
Yeah.
Because you have to have backspin, and it's such precision. There's it's such a small area to land the ball, because then you have to factor in it rolling after, So that's why I just feel like short grass and Gainer is perfect. Was there a lot of opportunity for that at Fairchild, the way the grass is cut, where I'm not even talking just right on the immediate fringe. I'm talking center of the green, but off.
Right.
The fairway kind of extends out. I'm talking 10, 15 feet
Yeah.
into the fairway? Like, was there a lot of opportunity if you wanted to, even if it was uphill, to putt it in lieu of chipping it?
Yeah, from that part out.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's a ton. Yeah.
And you did that.
Yes, I would say so. A couple times, obviously, when I first started, I was like, oh, I would try to chip it over. Then you realize that you're not chipping it over, and then I would, use my.
What
putter.
about Aaron and Such? Were they doing that or no? No, I was just trying to do a play on words there. I know his name is Aaron Such, by the way. But
Okay.
you didn't get it. It was supposed to be a joke. I thought it was creative, but all right. Anyway, were they doing it or no?
Yeah, they were good enough to be doing it. So
Hey, I mean, that's how it is. Wow.
I know, dude.
We almost had a chip in off the green here from Hadley. I think it's Jason Hadley. But it looks like he is going to tap in for par, or he's going to mark it. Okay.
Is it
Market.
Is it Chesson?
Chesson Hadley, yeah.
What a name, dude.
Okay, yeah. So that is a tap in par because you're ahead there.
So it's tap in par for
streaming
even.
here. Taylor Montgomery looks like he's having his approach shot on his third hole here. I love how the players is the only tournament because it's just with like their graphics and stuff where you know how like you're watching. If you do the PGA Tour live and they have the name and then on the corner, Tony, it's white color.
Yes.
It's gold just for this tournament.
That's
so
pretty sick.
It looks like pristine. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll keep everybody posted on the leaderboard here. Finishing up this conversation though, Lonnie says he'd rather be excited for a run rather than be depressed that the Knicks still fucking stink. It takes steps to get to a championship team, Michael. Hopefully these are the finishing stats for them. Yeah, I mean, and I've thought all along, you know, if they had Joel Embiid, and I know they're not, but if they had Giannis right now with this roster, completely different scenario, but they definitely are missing that guy to pair with Jalen Brunson, and I think they would be better off without Julius Randle. Josh B agrees. He says he sucks in the playoffs, and he also says Boston Bucks, 76ers, and Embiid healthy all worry me for the Knicks, which, you know, I'll agree. As Troy Merritt over the green here on number 12. So the leader in trouble here at risk of potentially getting a bogey if he doesn't go up and down. We have Blair here on number 3 for birdie, and it is not in the hole. So he's going to remain at 1 under if he can make this 5-footer. Let's go now, though, to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep. And Alonso cracks one in the middle to win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
For the first 2 months of the season, Garrett Cole, there it goes. See ya. So they announced yesterday that Cole will miss at minimum and will be shut down for the first 2 months, 1 to 2 months of the season. Obviously, you know, knowing the Yankees, they know it's going to be at least 2 months. They're just throwing us a bone with the, you know, saying 1 to 2. But I guess the MRI, he went in Florida, did not, you know, show any types of tear. And he's going to visit Dr. Neil L. Atrachi in Los Angeles.
Oh, boy.
And I guess the visit was yesterday, but I haven't heard anything further on it. So, you know, it's just kind of a wait and see approach. You know, but I guess, you know, as a fan, and you know, it's definitely an uphill battle still because nothing's guaranteed. Yeah, 1 to 2 months, but then like we've seen that turn into season ender and just not what we want. But I guess, Tony, and I don't know what you think here, but I guess it's better than hearing, you know, Tommy John out for the season, even though it's an uphill battle. There's still a chance for Garrett Cole to pitch half of a season this year and be healthy for the playoffs.
I mean, yeah, obviously it is, you know, not the worst news I guess you can get, but still, you know, you're a little tough here. 1 to 2 months, I think is what they said, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you're probably expecting a little bit more than that at this point. Which I guess, you know, we'll kind of wait and see. But what's the deal with this doctor in LA? Is he like
It's
a
some
big
specialist
sports
If
doctor?
I
Like-
had, yes, I know they named
Yeah.
some guys he's worked on. I forgot. I think Aaron Rodgers was one of them. But
Oh, great.
what, the vice presidential candidate? But yeah, I mean, I think it's, also too at this point, because like I said, as soon as the news came out, I'm in my head. I'm saying, done for the year. So even if Tony, he can come back July 1st, pitch the regular season, August 1st, as long as he can be healthy for the playoffs, I'm fine. We'll get to it in a second. I liked what I saw to Rodon yesterday. So I think some chance is better than nothing. The only thing that stung a little bit yesterday, the Padres acquiring Dylan Cease from the White Sox here, and actually using a former Yankee prospect as the key chip in this trade. Drew Thorpe, the 64th overall prospect in the MLB, who came over in the Juan Soto deal, flipped with Yairo Iriarte, a minor league infielder, outfielders Samuel Zavala and Steven Wilson. So, the Padres add Dylan Cease. So I think, that's big for their rotation.
That is.
You pair him with Michael King. That seems like to be a pretty solid one too. Obviously, both of those guys have question marks. King's first full season as a starter. And then Cease, the poor year last year. You also have Randy Vasquez, Johnny Brito in the mix with Hugh Darvish and Joe Musgrove. So really, too, the top four, Tony, if those guys are healthy, they're going to be in the rotation. So Darvish, Musgrove, Cease, King. I mean, that's a pretty good top four, no?
I would say so. I feel like Darvish, slow start last year, but good second half, I think.
Matt Kuchar with a birdie on one, the former Players champ, to go to 1 under.
But I mean, Darvish, it was 2 years ago when he signed the extension?
Yeah.
And I feel like if you get anything out of him, out of your ace right there, 2 years ago, finished 8th in the Cy Young Award.
Crazy that he's 36 going on 37.
I know, you really wouldn't expect that. And same thing
he is already 37. He's going on 38. Wow.
That's crazy. This August, 38.
And go down again?
What do we got?
Well, his rookie year was what? 2000. Okay, he was okay. So
2012.
He's just been in the league longer than we think.
Yeah,
he's going on his 12th year.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nuts. But good trade for the Padres. Tough that the Yankees can't get in on Cease now, Tony. And again, who knows if they're actually going to even do anything. But I would like to go Monty at this point. I don't know what you think about that. If he's like is actually in and not going to hold resentment for the way his tenure ended the first time,
which is tough because I feel like he would, because he wasn't. I mean, he didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave the Yankees when they dealt him. But I don't know. I mean, I've been saying Snell this whole time. I would stick with Snell. But I mean, do you think the Yankees are going to make a move? Because I feel like, from the Yankees' perspective, are they thinking, it's just 1 to 2 months, we can kind of hold out?
Yeah, I mean, I think unfortunately they might be only make a move if they're forced into it.
Right.
Because there are some young pitchers that have pitched well, Tony. So that is the flip side of this. And it almost reminds me of the golf with the Live Tour, the other guys getting the opportunity to get in the limelight, like Jake Knapp, winning the Mexico Open, something like that. Will Warren and Clayton Beeter, I do have expectations for them. They get some starts. I mean, Clayton Beeter, I know, as he got elevated to AAA last year, his ERA went up a little bit, but he's a guy, that could be pretty good. So definitely am excited about that. And a couple more comments here. I'll let Tony get back to his MC duties with the comments.
Wow, dude. Yes, we have Matthew Gabriel saying it's not what we want. But not even worried about it.
Wow, that's strength, honestly, out of Matthew.
Yeah,
that's why we need him here.
And he's saying
Merritt with a bogey to go to 1 under.
Cease already dealt right to the Padres. Talked about it. Josh B. Tight saying no, he wanted Cease.
Yeah. But I wouldn't. But like Matt said, I don't want him for Spencer Jones. I honestly too. And then there's some talk. Judge. I think Rick announced it today on the Open that, he should be back in the lineup Saturday. But then some guy from SI said that the toe's still giving him a problem too. So I don't know, misleading reports there. But especially if he were to start the season on the injured list, and I know they won't do it, the control, this, that, the third, Tony, I would love Spencer Jones to just get an opportunity. He's been raking in spring training. And I really think he is ready for the major leagues. I know they're not going to do it. But you could just tell with certain guys that they have the composure, the skill, and the talent. And I think, he has all three of those. Joel Damon with a chip here on the 11th. He'll have a chance for
Joel Damon.
birdie to move to 1 under.
How old
Tommy
is he?
Fleetwood, his second shot here. I believe Damon's around 30,
Okay.
if I had to guess. But what do you think about that? Like, I'm always
Spencer Jones?
yeah, Spencer Jones, but like just that specifically, but then also in general, are you always for just give it a try? Who cares?
Yeah.
we why coddle? Why are we coddling?
Yeah, I mean, especially too. I mean, with like you said, with younger guys in the organization, they're looking pretty solid during spring training. I mean, isn't this exactly what like they're kind of sitting around for? Like a young talent, just in case someone
Right.
gets injured, you get the call up. It's a big moment. Like, you should give them a shot. And also like, I mean, it probably won't be worth it to sign Monty or Snell.
Need more time, but that whole scheduling is chief too. Monty could be ready for the first series. He's
so?
pitching. What is he sitting playing Fortnite with Kyler Murray? No, he's preparing for the season. Tony, and you know that doesn't need to they just chief it with these throwing programs.
Yeah.
They really do. You don't think so?
No, I can see that. I mean, again, like you said, I wouldn't think Monty's just sitting around doing nothing. I mean, the fact that he hasn't signed yet, I would imagine, is irking him.
But so here we are,
Mhm.
2 weeks from opening day.
Right.
How riled are you, by the way?
So pumped, dude. I was talking about it yesterday.
Like literally, we're on the train
Yeah.
to City Field right now.
Like, it's gonna be
2
sick,
weeks.
dude. I can't wait.
Dude, let's
Yeah.
go. I love just doing it, Tony. You know what I mean? Not talking
Yeah,
about
right.
it, but just going, doing it. It's like with the golf, same thing.
Literally,
Like, it's
dude.
the
Oh
best.
my gosh, it's gonna be so much fun.
And then also, Matt says, we have pitching in the farm system. Let's call up some of those fellas in place of Cole.
go.
Promote from within. Damn it, they never do it. Haha, just do it. And me and him have had relentless conversations about that before.
Mhm.
And he's definitely right. And I think a perfect example, Tony, Anthony Volpe this spring looks more comfortable.
Mhm.
Coming up the year he had last year, obviously the batting average was disappointing. Everything else was great. But the fact is, we stuck with him for an entire season, a year where we weren't going to make the playoffs anyway. He gets that under his belt. Now he could have a pretty big year this year.
Yeah.
And like we got through that year already. If we did the whole, he needs a full year at AAA, then he would be at the point he was going into this year,
Yeah.
last season.
You would have ruined him. Yeah. like, it's
Exactly.
over.
So now he's ready to go. So that's why it's just like with Spencer Jones, especially if Judge needs time. Hopefully he doesn't. I want to see Spencer Jones up. And then, like I said, I know they're not going to do it, but that would be the right thing to do. As Matthew is riled for the golf, Tony.
He was talking about that yesterday, I believe, when he was here too. Hyped to play golf. Like, let's go, dude.
It's so sick, honestly.
It really is,
Yeah.
dude. So much fun.
Yeah, so pumped for that. So that's really, the news. In terms of on the diamond yesterday, I did mention this briefly, but I watched a little of this game before I teed off yesterday. Carlos Rodon goes 4 innings, 1 hit allowed, a home run to Valdez, but a solid performance nevertheless. 3 strikeouts. So you'll take that, from Carlos Rodon. Fastball velocity, hitting 96. I think it's a positive step forward, and I do think the work he's put in this offseason, he will be rewarded. And I get it, all the negativity, and even like the Michael Buck like hatred. Like I'm sure some of the Yankee fans just don't even want to give this guy a chance. And it's like, first of all, we need him, Tony.
Yeah.
And second of all, if he did figure out whatever was, ailing him last year, if he did figure it out now, if he's going to kill it, who cares about last year? Just pitch well this year and let's get behind him. You know what I mean? I feel like it's kind of tough, and I get it. It was brutal,
Right,
but it's
yeah.
tough for Yankee fans to let that go.
What's your level of confidence in him this year?
I would say if I had to give a percent that he makes, like kind of basically what I said for you with Severino, I would say my percent confident in that. And I don't think that's really being aggressive. I mean, I think he should have much lower than a 4, but if we do the 20 starts, the 4 ERA, 80%, 85%, I think he's going to do it.
I think
honestly.
so too.
It's like, and again, it's just like, we can't act like in sports, someone has a bad year, an injured year, and then it's every single time the career's over. It's like not even close to even 50%. That's not how it works, but we have that programmed in our mind because we have no patience.
Yeah. What did you give a percentage for Sevy yesterday?
No, but for that, I would say 60.
All right.
I mean, Rodon recently has had more.
No, I
evidence
definitely
of-
would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expect Rodon more likely to do that.
And they both could do it, and I hope they
Yeah.
both do it. It'll make it great for this show. A lot of good stuff to talk about, you
Mhm.
know. And you see, I know we're going to talk about Mets in a second, but Quintana named the starter, so we will be seeing him against the Brewers.
Did see that.
Thought it was Sevy season.
It would have been cool, dude.
Nostalgic.
It would have been. But we may get a Nestor spot, no, for
Who even knows how the rotation is going to be
Right.
set up? Because it's going to be, I believe, the 7th game of the season. So
is it really the 7th game?
Well, 'cause
you have
two
two series?
series,
I thought it was
yeah.
just the one.
Houston and Arizona.
Oh,
Victor Hovland just teed off. Looks like he's in the fairway. Rory McIlroy stepping up to the tee. Rory over under par. What's he shooting?
on the
today.
day? I could see him being in at even, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So a mediocre round.
Yes, definitely.
Um,
Definitely, dude.
and then
Matthew
and
Gabriel.
other than that, he looks solid. Feel a little bit better. Have you fucking velo? Where's Michael B? I wonder. I think the early start time
Threw him
probably
off.
threw him off.
Yeah, definitely.
And let's just see what Rory does here on the tee. Setting up and taking the club back. The ball is in the air here.
Mm-hmm.
Looking this on, and this one is on the fairway. So a good drive for Rory on one. We'll see what he does with that. But also from the game yesterday, Yankees lost 9-4. After Rodon, the pitching didn't do great. Mosqueda, 5 earned runs over 2/3 of an inning, kind of killed them. So not much on the pitching side of things, but a positive sign for sure. Giancarlo Stanton 2 for 3 with a double. So you love to see that. Gleyber Torres with a home run, his second of the spring. How about Anthony Rizzo? 8 RBIs this spring training, hitting .522, 3 for 3 yesterday. I know that has to get you out, Tony.
For
'cause you
Rizzo,
like
absolutely, dude. I love Rizzo. And again, like the whole injury thing last season sucks. So love to see him healthy and playing well, actually seeing the ball well. That's huge, dude.
I'm considering, because my first fantasy draft is tonight, late flyer on Anthony Rizzo. Is it a good idea?
Yes.
I mean, I think there's a decent chance 30 home runs.
Yeah, dude. Are
250.
you kidding me? I think
Why not?
that's a genius move, dude. And we talked about it too. I mean, if Rizzo does like also heat up and play well consistently this season for the Yankees, I mean, their lineup is going to be ridiculous.
Volpe
You know?
hitting .313 this spring, was 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs yesterday as well. Austin Wells hitting over 300, 1 for 2 this spring as well. Really excited about Austin Wells. So that all is good. Obviously, just the Judge and Cole things, we just need that sorted out, and then we'll be smooth sailing.
I mean, Judge will probably. I mean, they'll be fine, right?
I
totally. Yeah.
I hate the uncertainty with the toe maintenance and stuff, and like, should he have gotten surgery?
But I mean, isn't that what they talked about early in the season, where Judge is
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is going to be something I have to deal with
I know.
forever."
So,
like,
it's
it's not
probably
unexpected.
overhyped.
Yeah,
It's
no,
probably
it definitely. I think people will forget. People have such a short-term memory in the sense where like Judge talked about exactly this,
Right.
So it's like the one time too that the Yankees are being transparent with the fucking fans and the media here, saying that Judge is going to be dealing with this all season, and this is the maintenance. This is it right here. So they're probably doing this preemptively, opening day, totally fine. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, no, you're definitely right there, Tony.
And I feel like also, I mean, again, of course, I'm listening to Michael K show after class yesterday. And just everyone and their mothers are just like, the Yankee season is over, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I get it, like that. It's obviously like Cole hurt is not good, but I mean, you're just gonna like it's not all.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
It's not, like it's not over at all. Like, it hasn't
Yeah.
even started actually, and your rotation still has an opportunity to do really well. And like you said, you have prospects that could also, like surprise you guys. So I mean, to hold off. Like you said, if it comes back in July, it's like,
Yeah, exactly. And it's so much better than it being like a key position player, because they're starting every 5 days.
yeah,
Guys in the rotation, we see it every year. Somebody's going to pitch a lot better than expected. It could be one of these young guys. So let's just, like you said, see what happens.
They're Marcus Stroman.
Yeah, who's starting today in Lakeland, Tony. So no TV today for the Yankees. 105. Casey Mize on the other side of the slab. So Stroman versus Mize. No lineups out given the early hour of the day. So yeah, we'll see what happens. What do you got on the Mets?
So yesterday, they won. What was it? 6-5, maybe against the Astros. Yeah, 6-5 here. Sevy pitched really well. 4 innings, 1 earned run, just a solo shot. From I forget who. I think some no-name guy, but it was just like a fastball that was left over the middle of the plate. But obviously a lot of good hitting, which I feel like we haven't seen probably in a good, probably like 4 or 5 days. I think from the Mets. I feel like every game was like a 2-1 victory or a 1-0 loss or something. But we want to look at the order here. And honestly, only 1 home run. I believe Vientos hit his first shot, and that was the only home run. Just double check. Yeah. So Vientos hit his first home run of the spring season, which is cool. 411 feet. It looked really good. Good swing, great contact, and everything. But obviously, still expecting more from him. He was 1 for 3 on the day with the dinger. Alvarez was 1 for 3 with an RBI. You also had G-Man Choi, I believe, who had an RBI. A lot of just like situational batting, getting the runners on, bringing them in, dude.
Yeah.
Taylor also continues on his hit streak. I mean, he's batting .333 this spring training, consistently getting starts and playing time, by the way. So that's pretty good. So is Thompson as well.
Looks like Jordan Spieth is from the bunker on number 2.
No, dude.
So we'll see what he can do
Get
from
your
there. He's
sunscreen
usually
out.
good at scrambling. So we'll see.
He usually is. But nonetheless, you're still looking for more from some guys like Marte.
Minwoo Lee from almost 21 feet for birdie to move to 1 under.
That's pretty
so that's
solid.
big. Riley's riled.
I'm sure, dude.
Victor Hovland hitting his second approach shot, Tony. But that's a solid start from Louis. He's ready.
It is. It's great, dude.
He should be starting opening day. What are we doing, Tony?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I guess, Quintana's more of the veteran Met, I guess you could say.
That's just one of those like chief things.
Yeah.
Hovland from 129. He is on the front of the green if it's not going to roll off, and it looks like it's going to roll off the green. So he's going to have to chip up from there.
Fujinami looked pretty good yesterday too. 1 inning, 2 strikeouts.
He's going to be
and
good.
I think
I'm telling you, are you think he's going to be good?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that was like his first clean inning, like all spring training.
No,
so
but I
it's
thought
like
he started with a couple and then he had a couple bad ones. No,
no, I'm like clean.
His ERA
like,
is 3.38. Oh, but you're saying just perfect.
Yeah. Like first time, like no hits,
Not
no
everybody's
walks.
Edwin Diaz, Tony. You're not going to just come out after missing a year and strike out the side. It doesn't work like that,
I'm just saying, dude.
Wow, Rory with an absolute dart on number 10. So we'll have a birdie opportunity as we think about the Scotty Scheffler heads up bet.
But Buteau on the slab tonight, or I should say today, against the Cardinals again. Cardinals we spanked around a little bit before, I think last week. 105 start, like you said, no starting lineups out quite yet.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Buteau's been pitching well. I believe like a 1.5 ERA. So far over spring training, so he looks pretty solid. But another pitcher, one of those like you're hopeful, but spring training always looks good. Regular season, sort of deal.
Yeah.
But you'll see. We'll see. So yeah, dude. That's really
That's
about
where
it.
you're at.
That's where we're at right now, dude.
Fujinami over under 4 ERA this year.
Gosh. I mean, I'm hoping under. I would say under.
So I think you're growing with Fujinami because I think at first you thought, why are we even bringing this guy? He's going to get designated for assignment by May.
I mean, he could. It's possible. But, I mean, like you said, like the stuff is there.
100 miles an hour?
Like, yeah. Like the speed is there. Velocity is there.
I mean, 100 that's big.
Yeah, it's huge, dude.
Yeah.
It's just, he needs to that gets the command down. And obviously, again, like yesterday, good sign.
Right.
Against the Astros, too. They have good hitters.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see how the season starts. I think it's going to be a little slow for him though. Is what I anticipate.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. Spring training moving along. Definitely pumped for my fantasy draft tonight as well. But let's go now to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life. Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick six. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk. Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again. Mahomes escaping on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right. So I was just catching up because the big news yesterday, I was reading this article. I already knew it happened, but just kind of wanted to see what else they were talking about here. Is Victor Hovland is hitting his third on number 10. Let's just take you through that, Tony. And actually, one of those situations I was talking about, and it looks like okay. So he's actually doing what we said with the putter,
Really?
10 feet off of the green,
Okay.
going uphill slightly here. The par 4 10th, hitting his third. Let's see what Victor does with this. Heading towards the hole. And it goes by about 4.5, 5 feet. So he'll have that left to clean up a par on his first hole of the day, number 10. But Calvin Ridley leaving Jacksonville, going to Tennessee, 4 years, $92 million, $50 million guaranteed. After missing the 2022 season, he was traded from the Falcons to the Jacksonville Jaguars and had 76 catches for 1,016 yards and 8 touchdowns, and said even as recent as January that he wanted to return to the Jaguars because of the relationship he built and the prospect of not having to learn another offensive system. But he wasn't sure whether that would happen and that money would be a factor. So obviously, you miss a whole season. You're in free agency, 29, kind of last chance to get a big deal. He's going to go where the big money is. He goes to Tennessee. He teams up with not only Will Levis, but also DeAndre Hopkins and Treylon Burks. What do you think about Ridley joining the Titans?
I mean, I think that's a huge piece for the Titans. Tough loss for Jacksonville, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, that's not good at all. I mean, they're going to need to, like, somehow replace that
another
guy,
target,
right?
probably the draft.
Because, honestly, I mean, Gabe Davis, I mean, I don't think,
I think that's a bad move. Gabe Davis is
Really?
not good.
I think he's got some speed, dude, and he's got some hands. I think he did all right in the playoffs for the Bills.
But he's not. I just feel like there's something about having number one wide receiver in your DNA, and I don't think Gabe Davis has that. And you're paying him like a number one.
Number one, yeah. Do you think the Jaguars are expecting him to be the number one receiver?
Well, I mean, who else?
I mean, now, yeah.
I don't know who else is going to be.
You think they're going to try and bring another receiver in?
Oh yeah, no, but like I said, I think they're gonna draft one, in the first couple rounds. Just was gonna see here roster wise as Jason Day with a birdie on number 2, so the former Players Champ picking up a birdie here early on. Just who else is listed on the depth chart here at wide receiver is Rory. Yes, it's 5 feet 5 inches. Does he make it, Tony? Christian Kirk they have and Zay Jones.
Yes,
but I don't know. Those guys aren't great.
Zay Jones, he's all right,
but
I like him.
All right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Kirk 787 yards and 3 touchdowns last year. Rory's birdie putt is in the cup. So Mr. McElroy moving to 1 under. But yeah, I just think you need a big playmaking receiver. I guess get him in the draft, and you hope that Evan Ingram, follows up, his good strong season last year, 963 yards, 114 receptions for the former Giant, only 4 touchdowns. So I'm sure they'd like to get him going in that regard. But I believe actually the 963 was a career high for Ingram. So, we'll have to see what he does. Hovland here looks like it's 3 feet 5 inches. So should be a no-brainer here. To stay at level par, Tony.
Wow.
Early on here at the Players, and he puts it in the back of the cup. So yeah, that was a big move yesterday. On the minor side of things, you saw Mason Rudolph sign with the Titans as well, $3.5 million. So
making moves.
Steelers move on from Rudolph, replace him with Wilson. I mean, I don't know about you, Tony, but Russell Wilson for $1.5 million sounds like a lot better deal than Mason for $3.5.
Yeah, dude. I mean, absolutely. Do you think Titans not a lot of confidence in Levis?
No, I think they're actually a ton of confidence because the receiving room is loaded now.
Okay,
so that's a team to watch out for. I think.
Yeah,
I truly believe. And I don't know why I'm blanking on the head coach.
Did they they definitely named a new
because Vrabel was fired.
Yeah.
And the Titans head coach is Brian Callahan.
That's probably why you
coming over from Cincinnati. And yeah, his dad is Bill Callahan, the former Nebraska coach, Oakland Raiders coach, and Jets offensive line coach.
Wow.
As Joel Damon is in position here to pick up a birdie. He's currently even playing the 12th. We also saw the Washington Commanders. We saw them sign Austin Eckler a couple days ago. They and are trying to improve that defense now. Bobby Wagner, 1 year worth up to $8.5 million, $6 million in guarantees. Obviously, Wagner getting up there, the last remaining member of the famed Legion of Boom with the Seattle Seahawks, of course, winning that title way back when. But if you look at his numbers, he's had at least 104 tackles every year of his career.
Wow.
And he's entered the league in 2012, one of those mid-round gems by Seattle. And even last year, Tony, 183 tackles, which was actually a career high. Also had 3.5 sacks. And as a guy, over the course of his career, 33 sacks and 13 interceptions on a 1-year deal for Washington. Trying to turn things around quickly. We'll see who the starter is there. But I think a good move for the Commanders.
Yeah. What? How old is he?
33 going on 34. But obviously 183 tackles. It's not over yet.
It's actually kind of funny because, again, I was listening to Michael Kay when Peter Rosenberg talked about this, and he is a Commanders fan. And honestly, he seemed kind of downtrodden about it. He's like, "Oh, it's not Bobby Wagner from freaking
Why are you referencing
5
Peter
years ago?"
Rosenberg's
And it's just like
sports takes.
And it's now like, well, clearly, Peter, you haven't looked at his stats in a while because he's doing really well.
He's just going by the age, obviously.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm pretty hyped for that. That's like a great pickup, dude.
Yeah.
183 tackles.
And that draft pick early on.
Yeah, dude.
You have Sam Howell there ready to step in.
Sam
if
Darnold.
Need be. Who did they sign quarterback?
The Washington?
Yeah.
Wasn't Marcus Mariota?
Yes. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, and then they'll get that pick early on. So interesting to see what happens. I saw Mekhi Becton, now a free agent, is meeting with the Bengals. So obviously will help pack his bags out of Florham Park, Tony. Right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
And the Raiders releasing Jimmy G and Hunter Renfrow.
Who's picking up Jimmy G?
Tough one. Obviously, the Patriots already signed Brissett. That was a spot you kind of thought was in play.
Yeah.
So tough to see. The Jets would have been good. I mean, the Giants, because they'll draft a rookie, so they don't really need one either. You're just thinking about teams, around the league. But I guess, honestly, any team that, has a star quarterback.
Right.
And wants to have security behind them, would be an outstanding spot
now
for Jimmy G.
Like, since he's released, what's the protocol on his?
Yeah, I think it was all
league minimum stuff, like
non-guaranteed.
Okay.
Move saved the Raiders more than $19 million in cap space.
Interesting.
He was due an $11.25 million roster bonus on Sunday. And he violated the performance-enhancing drug policy. And so he doesn't have. He's not gonna get any money because of that. So
holy shit, really?
So he does not have any money coming to him. So, and I don't think he's gonna get a big deal, obviously, in free agency. But you know what I'm just thinking too? You know what's a good spot for Jimmy G? Chicago, because Fields will be out. Rookie quarterback in. Learn from Jimmy G. Start if even need be. That's the type of spot I think it would be good for him.
Yeah, but the steroids, dude. He's not even like a muscular guy.
But you know what it is, though? NFL, nobody cares about steroids. It's really like you don't even remember who's got suspended for steroids before.
Yeah,
I'm not an advocate, but I'm just saying. Like,
sounds like you are advocating for it.
I think you're searching for it, Tony. But yeah, so that's really what we have with the NFL. But anything else that comes along, we will bring it your way. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores. Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle quick. It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping. Rink Washington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn. Side of the net. Between the legs and they score. Filthy. David Pastrnak. The silver trophy.
Kuchar, now your leader at the Players,
Wow.
picking up an early eagle. So he is 3 under through his first 2 holes. Here's a little trivia for you, Tony. He is a former Players champion. What year did Matt Kuchar win the Players Championship?
Oh my gosh, what year? I was just looking at obviously the results yesterday. Obviously, it wasn't last year. 2018, 2019, right, is when Rory won.
And also, just to give you context, not that this is saying anything, but Matt Kuchar is now 45 years old.
2014.
2012. And has not made the cut at the Players since 2019. Oh
wow.
Good start for him. And
There we go.
obviously, when you get to that age, mid 40s, you're waiting to have eligibility to play the senior tour. But he definitely is still competitive week to week. Ryan Moore, Thomas Dietrich, Camilo Vegas, Lee Hodges, Chasing Chasing's at 1. So so Kuchar at 3, and then Moore, Dietrich, Viegas, and Hodges all at 2 under. Again, early on here, as Sam Burns looks on for birdie from 14-2. Now we did have 4 games as he just misses that birdie putt. We did have 4 games in the NHL last night. Obviously, Rangers off. We'll be back in action today. We both went 6-2 on the picks.
Who would have thought?
And actually, quick update there. By having the same record, you're still up by a single game, Tony.
That's right,
so
baby.
you could say it is a dogfight early. Lots of picks coming up today and tomorrow. But as currently constituted, Tony, I have a record of 109.95, and you are 110.94. So very competitive here early on.
Well, that was as of yesterday, though.
No, that's with today. The updates.
Sure about that?
Positive. It was 104 and 105.
I don't know, man. I think you blew it.
No.
I think you blew
Nope. I have it written down here. I think you blew it.
Because I have that record written down for yesterday in my notebook.
Not true.
How is that not true? They're written down
Not
in
true.
my notebook.
It's literally updated.
What am I, Nostradamus over here? How could I have that
Nostradamus.
written down in my notebook yesterday?
You blew it. I
All right.
guess.
All right. I'll take your word for
Oh,
it.
actually, no, you are right. I already had it written down though. It's 115 and 97, 116 and 96. So take it easy, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, take it easy. Kuchar on number 12 here, 97 yards out on the par 4 12th. Ball in the air and rolling back. So that actually might roll off the green or at least to the edge. So he'll have a lengthy birdie putt. But anyway, 4 games last night. I know the Blues game must have surprised you. 3-1
Definitely,
there.
dude.
Binnington looking like Patrick Waugh, 40 of 41 in net. Neighbors with a goal. The Blues here have an opportunity. Obviously, they need to win the majority of their games.
Yeah.
But 34 and 29. Kings fading fast.
I know, dude. What the fudge, dude? Really fading down the stretch. But also, in terms of the Blues, we talked about it. Sometimes Binnington just has that great game. 40 saves in the night. You saw some great efforts from Kevin Hayes, too. He had an assist on the board there for St. Louis. And we've also seen the Kings in this downtrodden couple months, I guess. The inability to score. They need to figure out a way to start scoring more often, consistently. Because I think now at this point, freaking the Blues have a better record than them. They got 34 wins. LA only 33 wins here. They're gonna have a tough time if they're gonna want to stick in this playoff contention. I feel
6 points behind the second wild card.
Yeah.
And then they're in the Central or the Pacific.
The St. Louis, Central.
So they have no chance of getting top 3 in the Central.
No.
So gonna have to win the majority of the games. Crazy Vegas, the last playoff spot in the West. You don't really think about that.
I know, dude, the West is crazy good.
Yeah, but I was just talking about this with Stacks yesterday. It runs through Colorado, Edmonton, and Vegas. I don't think anybody else is winning the West.
Vancouver?
No,
Really?
You saw what happened last night.
Yeah, I did.
I'm just saying that's what happens when they face top talent. It's just not that easy,
we'll 7-game series. We'll see. That was obviously you blew it in the end there, but the 4-3 in overtime.
Swept this year. Swept.
Yeah.
I mean, the games count for something.
No, yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do.
Yeah.
I still think if that's a series, it's not going to be a sweep if it's a playoff series between these two. But time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell. We also saw Predators 4-2 in Winnipeg over the Jets. Forsberg scoring a goal with 2 assists, and then Juan Soros was 27 of 29 in net. So a good job there. And the Predators, I believe, have solid playoff positioning.
Let's see here. They are in the first wild card spot out of the West right now.
Okay, 3
which
points
is pretty
ahead
crazy.
of Vegas. A team that I definitely, didn't expect to be there. Nevertheless, they are. So a good win on their end. A game I think we both saw coming. The Oilers 7-2 in Edmonton over the Capitals.
I'm in with the Hattie Boom Batty.
Fading like the Pittsburgh Penguins. Same type of deal too with some older players. But yes, we did get the Hattie Boom Batty. Zach Hyman up to 46 goals on the year. And I was telling Stacks this yesterday as well. That's why I think Edmonton's so dangerous, because when you think of Edmonton, you think of McDavid, you think of Draisaitl, you think of Evander Kane, and the fact that Zach Hyman has 46 goals. How the hell are you going to defend them in the playoffs?
I hope the Rangers play them in the Cup.
Yeah.
Destroy
Let's do
them.
it. But I'm
Absolutely
just saying, it's like Western Conference, Tony.
No, yeah, it's gonna be hard to
a
defend
tough
them.
out.
Yeah, for sure. But let's
with Skinner playing well, is let's not
yes.
overlook that.
No, yeah,
either.
I mean Skinner can play well, but it's also
23 at 25 last night.
We'll there's a lot of competition out of the West. We just talked about it. They have to get through teams that are more well-rounded than them in order to make the Cup. So
Matt Kuchar just made a 37-foot, 8-inch putt to move to 4 under.
Wow,
the 45-year-old 2012 Players Champion on fire here at Point Verda, Florida.
That's kind of crazy.
And it's crazy that PGA Tour Live ahead of the live standings on PGAtour.com, which is kind of nuts. But Stuart Skinner, Tony, 30-13 now, 2.57 goals against, 907 save percentage, 25 years old, the Edmonton native.
Yeah, dude.
Playing for his hometown team and doing a very good job. So this team is loaded. I hope it's them versus the Avalanche in the finals, conference finals. And speaking of the Avalanche, 4-3 over Vancouver, second straight night in the NHL, and I happen to bet on both teams, where we saw a team lead 3-0, and then the ensuing rest of the game get outscored 4-0. So Avalanche 4-3 in overtime. Niskrucharin, the game winner, his 25th of the year on a power play goal. For the Avs, they also had Rantanen, his 34th, McKinnon, his 42nd, Ross Colton, his 14th, J.T. Miller had the first goal of the game, his 33rd. So the career year continues for him. Georgiev didn't have to do much, 18-21, only 857, but a win is a win is a win. 42-20 for the Avs, as Vancouver plays without starting goaltender Thatcher Demko. Casey DeSmith. That's why I went with Colorado, because I just think Vancouver's been great, but Demko's been a big part of that. You put in DeSmith, it completely changes everything as your lead tender.
Yeah, I mean, and think about it too. I mean, he got more and more challenge on the stretch of the game, and he definitely wavered a little bit here. As the Avalanche kind of started this game a little slow. I mean, I think they were maybe feeling it out a little bit. I mean, Vancouver, they were probably expecting it to be a great game, and of course, Vancouver did the opposite. They came out really swinging hard. But I mean, hey, man, this is if Vancouver had Thatcher Demko. I mean, I think you're talking about a different game here, because Georgiev did not look good.
I might flip this table. Rory McIlroy,
Eagle,
lining up for a 60-foot, 11-inch eagle putt. If he makes this, they go to 3 under. I will absolutely lose my mind, Tony.
Is he setting up for it? Is he?
He's approaching it.
Addressing the green there.
The ball.
But also Vancouver 0-for-3 on their power play. You got to figure that out, especially when you're on the man
Colorado's
advantage.
Just better.
Colorado has phenomenal defense. I'd love to see their stats too on their penalty kill around the league, because I'm sure it's very good. So, but you got to figure that out, dude. You have to figure that out and then generate some more offense. I mean, I understand Colorado makes it really hard to get through the neutral zone and set up, especially for a team like Vancouver. No way.
No.
Oh.
But I mean, pretty good run at it. He's probably 3 feet for birdie.
There we go.
Scotty better already get out to a hot start when he tees off
dude.
later.
Oh boy.
But the whole thing is here, Tony, Colorado is better. And honestly, I think they're far better just because they could score in so many ways. They don't need Georgiev to play like Patrick Waugh. How many hours of sleep? 4.5 last night?
Oh, dude,
Gaming corner.
Yeah, gaming corner went late, and then I don't know. I just like this morning woke up at like 7:15.
I was up. I literally woke up at 5. No alarm.
No, I was supposed to. I set my alarm for 5. I don't know what happened, dude.
Yeah.
But I would wake up and I'm like thinking to myself, like, oh man, like I wonder what time it is. And I'm like, wait, the sun's out. It seems kind of weird if it's earlier than 5. Look over, it's 7:12.
You're
Jump out of
bugging.
bed, dude. Yeah.
Jumped up out of bed.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so yeah, Colorado dangerous. We'll see how they finish this season, but they are ready to try to win 2 Stanley Cups in 3 years. Loaded slate today. So before we get to
Holy
the
shit.
frenzy, we have to talk about our Rangers here. Back in action, coming off that exciting win in Raleigh on Tuesday. Here they are in Tampa. Igor versus Vasilevsky, unconfirmed, but most likely the matchup. Clearly, the Rangers have the upper hand there. Vasilevsky has been a shell of himself this year. Goals against 2.96, save percentage under 9 at 0.896. 2 shots on the year. Igor 27-13, 2.6 goals against, 9-12 save percentage, 2 shutouts. And like Sam Rosen and Joe Micheletti alluded to last Rangers game, he is playing this past month better goalie, playing goalie better than anybody in the National Hockey League. Obviously, we go into this game still without Trouba, still without Rempe. But what are you looking for this year? I mean, my thought will be to attack Vasilevsky as much as possible. He's not having a good year.
I mean, I totally agree there. I mean, I think that this is a type of game where you need to generate offense early and often. Vasilevsky could have a good game. I don't want to overlook the Lightning, to be honest.
Kucherov's nasty.
Kucherov is nasty. Braden Point is very good, although having not
Victor
a great
Hedman.
season. Hedman, obviously, Stamkos. They just picked up Anthony Duclair.
He's not that good.
He had a goal and assist in the last game.
He's not great.
He's not great, but he's having a career year for him.
Lindor. He's not.
Obviously not. But still, I mean, they spanked around the Flyers 7-0. I think their last game out. So I mean, I don't want to overlook the Lightning, but you've owned them this season. This is the third and final time you guys are playing each other. You have to this is still a game. Like I said, not underestimating the Lightning here. But I'm still expecting like a 5-1 victory. Igor, I mean, like both the last 2 times, once it was like 3-1 game back in February and then like a 5-2 game or something back in November. I mean, the Rangers weren't even playing their best hockey back then, dude. They're playing their best hockey right now. And again, you look at the last couple games the Rangers have had, the 1-0 win against Carolina. I mean, and that was a goaltender's game too, which it could be with Vasilevsky here again, but it's not going to be like Kochetkov. Okay, dude. So again, Kochetkov. I'm still expecting a pretty dominant victory, but again, like I don't want the Rangers coming in here thinking like, oh, it's just going to be a rollover team. They know what they're doing.
Can't let them hang around.
A lot. You cannot let them hang around. Like I said, it has to be scoring early and often, like 2 goals in the first period and keeping the pedal to the metal, Brian. That's really the key there. Any opportunity to get on the power play, you better fucking score also.
How do they mix up the grouping? I mean, how do you work? How do you fix?
I mean, that's the only thing I can really think of. Again, like you think of your power play unit. I mean, you want to keep it simple. There is an open man on the ice. You want to just have the puck find him.
First line power play.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I mean, he hasn't been on any power play line, so maybe throwing him in there, get him going would also probably help him honestly on the third line too with Kakko. So yeah, dude. I mean, I would love to see that. I mean, I think that a win is certainly expected here, and then I want to see some power play dominance here. Like, let's go, dude.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Rory on the tee at 12.
Are you nervous?
I'm just hoping this is a 4 right call off the tee.
What? Oh my goodness. When's Scotty?
150.
150.
So Rory off the tee. The track man looks like it's right down the pipe. And he's -11 in 40 rounds at this hole.
Nice.
And and it looks like, yeah, he's in the fairway. So a great drive off the 12th for Rory as Scotty continues to have his work cut out for him. But anyway, yeah, it's just, you're better than the Lightning.
Yeah, you are.
Don't take him for granted. It's always tough to play there in Tampa, but you just have to come out strong, play your game. And I think if they do that, they'll find themselves winning their 44th game of the year, Tony. But it is our favorite time. It is everybody's favorite time. Adam Fox will be fine. Don't worry about it.
Sure.
Let's do a hockey frenzy.
Oh, my goodness. It is the Thursday of all Thursdays around the National Hockey League. I can't believe it. So many games tonight. I feel like we haven't had a heavy Thursday slate in a while. Starting at 7 p.m. in Buffalo, we have the Sabres take on the New York Islanders. A battle of New York tonight over here at the Key Bank Center in Buffalo. Sabres, of course, minus 110 here at home. Looks like the Islanders also minus 110 on the road, the money line. I hate when they do that. Over-under is at 5.5. I feel like Brian's expecting Islanders' dominant victory, but let's hear it from the man himself.
Yeah, and I think a defensive hockey game. I'm going to say, actually, the Isles will win this game 2-1. Matt Martin, the game winner in overtime. And the Isles stay in that second wild card spot in the East.
I know this is so tough, but listen, we talked about it. Wow, with the Islanders. I feel like you setting up the lines, doing well for them. I know the Sabres are coming off back-to-back wins here, scoring a lot, but I do think Islanders, some solid defense, good goaltending here, can hold them off. Give me the Islanders and the over here as they win. I'll say 4-2. Empty netter over there at the end. Did you have an over-under there, Brian? Under. So you're Islanders in the under. I go Islanders in the over. Next up in Montreal, we have the Boston Bruins up there visiting the Bell Center in Montreal, taking on the Canadiens. Montreal plus 175. Montreal, that is. The over-under in the Montreal game is 5.5. Looking at the last few times these two teams faced each other, Montreal have not won. They are 1-2, against Boston this season, losing back-to-back appearances against them, although they are just coming off a 3-0 win against Columbus. The Bruins just up the game to St. Louis. So what are you thinking here?
Yeah, this is tough. You try to look for opportunities to not always go chalk, but I have to do it here. I think Boston, especially after losing the way they did at home against St. Louis, I think they're going to come out, pedal to the metal here. And I think they get a good defensive performance, hold the Canadiens in check, and defeat them 4-1. Pastrnak with 2 goals.
Wow, so you're taking the Bruins and the under. I obviously agree with the Bruins. Got to go chalk there, right, Brian? However, I feel like 2 out of the 3 times these teams have faced each other this season, it has gone over. So give me the over. I say Bruins win this one 4-3. Montreal keeps it close. Next up here around the NHL, we have the Arizona Coyotes who are heading into Detroit to take on the Red Wings here. Arizona plus 135 here on the road. Detroit minus 155. Your over-under is set at 6.5. The second and final time these teams are facing each other this season. Last time was about a week ago. Coyotes blanked the Red Wings 4-0. Bet you weren't expecting that. And that was their only win in the last 5 games. The Red Wings, I believe, on a 6-game losing streak now. They bounce back.
I had Coyotes written in, but I'm changing my mind. They have to win sometime, some way, and it's tonight. All their frustration. Steve Yzerman will light a fire under this team. He's going to go into the locker room before the game and say, I won with Dominik Hasek. You guys are shit, and if you want any chance of making the playoffs, you have to win tonight. They respond 7-2 over the Arizona Coyotes.
Oh, man, this is going to sound crazy because Detroit's been my team the whole year.
But they've been struggling.
Give me the Coyotes here. It may bite me in the ass, but I don't care. Obviously, Red Wings are hurting without Larkin. It's ridiculous. So give me the Coyotes. Finally, Brian, Clayton Keller with the Hattie Boom Batty. Arizona wins this game I'll say 4-1. So Coyotes and the under, baby. Next game up around the National Hockey League is the game we want to see in Florida. The Lightning taking on the Rangers, 7 p.m. Tampa Bay, -120. Rangers, though, are even on the money line, so be careful there. Your over-under for this game will be set at 6.5. Expecting a lot of scoring is Vegas. The Rangers on a 3-game win streak. After dropping back-to-back games to Toronto and Florida, they have really picked it up again. 2 shutouts out of the last 3 games, both Igor starts. How do you like that, dude? The Lightning coming off a shutout of their own with Vasilevsky against the Flyers, like I said, of Philadelphia. What we got, Brian?
Yeah, give me the Rangers. Give me the under. I feel like we can say that every game the rest of the year. Vasilevsky, I think, will have trouble. Give up 2 goals early. I think Panarin and Mika scoring in the first period. And I think the Rangers end up cruising to a 4-1 victory. So for the 5th straight game, 6.5 goes under. And the Rangers are victorious.
Totally agree there. Give me Rangers in the under. Go Chalk. Let's go. I'll say it's 4-2, though, for the Rangers up there. Next game, still 7 p.m. time slot. We're going to go over to Pittsburgh as the Penguins take on the Sharks. Look out now for the upset. Pittsburgh, -300. San Jose, +250 over there at PPG Paints Arena. Over-under at 6.5. You know the deal. Sharks suck, dropping 4 of the last 5 games. But you know what's so the Penguins? They're on a 4-game losing streak. Last time these two teams faced each other, the Penguins won 10-2, though, Brian. What do you think here today?
So it's not going to be 10, but it'll be 6-2 Penguins over the Sharks. Erik Karlsson with 3 points, 2 goals, and an assist. Sidney Crosby with 2 goals as well, taking their frustrations out on the poor, lonely Sharks, Tony. So Pittsburgh and the over.
Got cute with the Coyotes. Not going to do it here. It's going to go chalk. It's Penguins, obviously. Put down $300. Let's go,
to
win 100.
Rory, his second shot.
Penguins in the
100 yards. And, of course, it's right next to the cup. So it looks like he's going to move to 300 unless he chunks it.
This is when Hot Take Johnny calls in. When did the hockey frenzy become the golf frenzy? Give me the Penguins. 2-0 shutout. Let's freaking go. Bang. Penguins and the under. Next game up, the Carolina Hurricanes, formerly known as the Hartford Whalers, taking on the Florida Panthers here. This could be a great game. Carolina -125 here. At home, over-under is at 5.5. Panthers winning 4 of the last 5 games. Hurricanes losing 2 of the last 5. And the Hurricanes also split the season series against the Panthers here. Most recently shutting them out 1-0, though, back in February. What do you think's going to happen here?
Hurricanes are going to win this game. Love the Panthers, but I just think they can't win every game, Tony, and especially playing with fire last time out against Dallas, getting spotted 3 and winning 4-3. I think Carolina, again, a defensive hockey game here. What is it? Kochetkov, 39 of 40 in net. Carolina, 2-1 victors at home.
I don't know. Give me Panthers. Give me over. Panthers will be scoring a lot. I think Hurricanes, other than that Rangers game, I feel like they struggle to keep people off the score sheet for a little bit. And the Panthers are going to be an absolute wall. Carolina, they may be showing some weaknesses here and why maybe they won't be making the Eastern Conference Finals. Give me the Panthers here winning this game. I'll say 5-3. Panthers and the over. Next game up, Brian's second favorite team here, the Columbus Blue Jackets, playing the Ottawa Senators. They just played each other. Tickets as low as $8 here, Brian. Columbus Blue Jackets on the money line are +105 here at home. Over-under is 6.5. Blue Jackets, like I said, just got blanked by the Canadiens. Senators coming off of a 2-1 victory against Pittsburgh in OT. Regular season series here tied at 1. What do you got?
Blue Jackets under. Goudreau, Hattie, 3-0 Blue Jackets. Versus Lincolns, 45 save shutout.
Blue Jackets in the under, you
Patrick
say?
Cantlay, now your leader at the Players at 3 under. Matt Kuchar, bogey to drop the 3.
Love Matt Kuchar. Blue Jackets in the under, you say. I feel like both these games. Give me Senators. No. I guess I'll just sure, dude. Give me Blue Jackets. No. This is it. So, yeah. Blue Jackets in the under. I don't care. Whatever. Next game. Around the Hockey League of the National Variety. The Flyers taking on the Maple Leafs. 7:30 now we are in. Quite a few games still to go here.
You
ESPN
said under,
Plus.
by the way.
Yes. I did, right?
Yeah.
I did. Okay, Flyers here, ESPN Plus Hulu game, Wells Fargo Center. Tickets was $32. Flyers here, plus 110 on the money line against the Maple Leafs. At home dogs here. 6.5 is the over-under set. So, I don't know. Maple Leafs, do they blow it? What do you think here?
No. The Maple Leafs are going to win this game 6-3 in Philadelphia. Mitch Marner, Tony, with the Hattie.
He's
Toronto,
out. It's
38th
Toronto.
game of the year, but he's going to come back. That's why it says March 16th. So I would not be surprised. And he isn't expected to play Thursday. So if he's out, who's going to step up? That means John Tavares will now have the hat trick as the Maple Leafs win 6-3. Jeremy Schaap, ESPN.
I have a feeling the Flyers do get the upset. Urson playing really well. I just think the Maple Leafs are going to be due for an absolute implosion from the inside variety here. Maple Leafs have to take it to overtime to beat the Flyers the last time out. Give me the Flyers here. Tortorella riled for Torts as he defeats the Maple Leafs. I'll say 5-1. Yeah, 5-1. So Flyers and the under there. Maple Leafs struggle to score. Book them, Daniel. Next game, 8 p.m. Dallas, baby. The Stars taking on the Devils at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, the home favorite here at -175. We know what the Devils could do in terms of fucking things up. Over-under is at 6.5. The Stars beat this team out back in January, 6-2, dominantly handling the Devils. How about Kapokakinen, already day-to-day over there on the IR list, but probably getting the start here tonight. Looking at the Devils' last 5 games, only winning 1 of the last 5. The Stars only losing 1 of the last 5. You know who's hot. Who you taking, Brian?
Give me Dallas bouncing back after the tough, lead that they blew to Florida. I'm going to say Oettinger, 37-40 in net. Dallas 7-3 over the Devils.
So easy. Even a caveman can do it. Dallas Stars and the over. Love the score of 7-2, like you said. Next game up, still 8 p.m. We're going to Minnesota. Beautiful St. Paul at the XL Energy Center. The Wild taking on your Anaheim Ducks, baby. The Wild here, -290 at home. The heavy favorites against the Ducks, who have dealt a lot of their talent at the trade deadline. Over-under is 6.5. Speaking of the Ducks dealing their talent, it shows here, only winning 1 of their last 5. Again, the Wild only losing 1 game out of the last 5, and it was to Colorado, one of the better teams around here. The Ducks did beat this team last time out, though, 3-2, but it is a different-looking team, as I mentioned. Minnesota taking care of business at home?
Yes, they've made a late-season push here. One of the strongest environments there in Minnesota in terms of the fans. They want to see some playoff hockey. Matt Zuccarello with 4 assists in this one. 5-2 Minnesota. Kaprizov, his 34th and 35th goals of the year.
Absolutely love it there for Minnesota, but give me the under for Minnesota. I say low scoring by both teams. Maybe even like a 2-0 shutout by Fleury if he's getting the start. Who knows? But give me Wild, 2-0 shutout. Why not, dude? Next game up, we're chugging along. Only 2 left, and we're going back to Canada for one of them. It is Calgary. It is the Flames playing your Vegas Golden Knights here at 9 p.m. Scotiabank Saddle Dome. Calgary +125 here at home. The Golden Knights have the over-under set at 6.5. And boy, do they have a little bit of a disadvantage, I guess, in the regular season series. Calgary leads them 2-1. We know the Schneids, the Knights, have been going on. However, they are on a 2-game win streak, taking care of business in Detroit, in Seattle, scoring 10 goals in their last 5 games. The Flames dropping 4 of the last 5. Can Vegas keep it up with the scoring?
Make that 5 out of 6. Make that 3 in a row for the Knights. 3-1. And Tomas Hertl with his first goal as a Golden Knight.
Absolutely love it there. So you're going Knights and the under. Give me Knights and the over again. You'll get at these two teams. I mean, I mentioned the Knights scoring 10 in their last 2 games. The Flames giving up 18 goals in their last 3 games. Crazy right there. I don't know what's going on with their defense, with their goaltending.
Rory tied for the lead at 3 under. Burying his first 3. Just the way you want to start the 50th edition of the Players' Championship.
He's going to vote back 9. Don't even worry about it, Brian. Sky's coming out hot, just like the Knights.
Just like Xander Schauffele as he misses the birdie putt to remain at 200.
And that.
We have one more.
Oh, wait, you're right, dude. We do have one more.
It's my fault for distracting you with
Seattle Kraken over here at 10 p.m. taking on the that was so good with the music. Taking on the Washington Capitals here. Seattle, of course, home favorites minus 155. Over under is at 5.5 here. Both teams coming off back-to-back losses. The Kraken killing the Capitals 4-1 back in early January. Does Alex Ovechkin have anything left in the tank to even take a little bit of command over this game? What's going on, dude?
Yeah, give me the Capitals.
Wow.
A Dylan Strome, Tony. I'm going to say 2 goals, 1 assist, 3-2 caps in overtime. Alexander Ovechkin, the game winner. So Capitals and the under.
I do like that. I'll take Caps and another over, though. I think this is one of those games where you see Ovechkin, veteran, like 3 goals, 1 assist, the Hattie Boom Batty for Alex Ovechkin. He says, hey, man, not done yet.
And that is your hockey frenzy.
Just
Tony.
like that, dude.
How crazy is it? I mentioned nothing to do with hockey, but last night how we're within a week, Tony, inside of a week now of the MLB The Show 24.
Dude, so sick. We were talking about it last night. Yeah, that's what we were talking about yesterday. Yeah, we were.
You're ridiculous.
So fucking hyped, dude.
Yeah, and I feel like every game for the most part was close. I don't think there's been any blowouts between us, right?
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually kind of hilarious.
And nice to get the updated rosters, what they do with the
dude.
Derby. There's always some type of change to the Derby, and I don't know if it's just you get used to one way, but it seems like over the years it's tighter and tighter and tighter in terms of the camera in the Derby.
Yeah,
right?
I totally agree. Do you know the change now?
No, but I guess we'll find out.
Can't wait to see it, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's even on the cover?
Vlad. So that bodes well because usually that means trouble.
Wow,
right?
dude.
You don't want to be on the cover of a video game.
No, you do not, dude.
And also, I don't know. I don't know if he'll ever live up to expectations. He's going to be a solid player, but I think everybody thought he was going to be relentlessly top 5 player entire career. I don't think it's going to be like that.
I mean, he looked like it, like
for one season.
For one season.
When the balls were juiced.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you never know, dude. You really never know. But I like you said, I am kind of leaning towards mediocrity, I guess.
Compared to expectations. That's
yes, exactly. Lower, yeah, definitely.
And then
your lineup submitted.
Is it?
Yeah, just got a notification 3 minutes ago. Verdugo leading off left field, Torres second base. The 3-hole, you have Rizzo starting at first, Trevino batting cleanup at the catcher position. You have Grisham 5th over there in center field, Gonzalez in right field getting a start. Vivas batting in the 7th spot at DH, Cabrera 8th batting at shortstop. Then you have Smith getting the start at third base, batting 9th. Who's Smith? No idea.
That's
Some
not
guy.
make the roster, yeah.
And then Stroman gets the start.
There we go.
It's Mize. Casey
Mize.
The miser.
Yeah, they should hammer him. Let's get a Verdugo homer too.
Why not? Dude?
Last update here from the Players. 3-way tie at first. Kucher, McElroy, Cantlay, all at 3 under. And last I checked, Cantlay had found a bunker, on his 3rd hole, which is the 12th. So we'll see how that progresses, and do a full round 1 recap tomorrow. Of course, the Rangers game as well, and anything from spring training that pops up.
Oh yeah, brother.
As well as the NFL. Anything for you, Tony, on the way out? Any Met lineup? or a game later. Lineup not out yet.
Game's at 1:10.
Lineup
But
not out.
haven't gotten the lineup yet.
All right.
I'm sure right after we fucking end, it'll pop out.
I'm sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So I think.
Lineup's out.
Really?
I swear to God.
Is Alvarez playing?
No, we
played
have
yesterday.
no Alvarez. Nito getting the start at catcher.
Luis Angel.
Luis Angel. No, we have Nimmo starting off left field, Lindor shortstop in the 2-hole, Alonso batting third at third base, Brett Beatty batting in the cleanup position, getting the start at third, Harrison Bader starting center field, batting in fifth, Luke Voigt in the DH spot at sixth. You have Taylor getting the start in right field, batting seventh, batting eighth. You have Zach Short getting another start at second base. Love to see that. And then Nito, ninth catcher.
There we go.
So there you go, dude. Love that.
Let's see what happens. But once again, a great show. Really appreciate
Phenomenal
everybody
show.
who commented, liked, subscribed, and everyone who continues to check out the archives on the YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume. Merch, downtimetv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, enjoy the golf. Let's go Yankees and
Let's go Mets!
Rangers.
And Rangers.
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.